Hi guys, so today we're going to talk about vaping and how it's not just blowing smoke. This topic is so new that even our physicians don't know a whole lot about the topic and how it affects the body and what the long-term effects are. So with that being said, vaping is very popular with a majority of the population of the world, but it's really become popular with adolescents. Adolescents feel as though this is this new trend that they need to try with the Juuls or just a vape pen that they can get anywhere. The thing is, we don't know how they're getting it or why they're doing it exactly. So we're gonna try and figure that out. As we all know, smoking is very bad for the body. There's so much research based on cigarette smoking and what it does, but now vaping has come in the picture and we are not sure if it has the same side effects as smoking. Some feel that it's better than smoking cigarettes, and a lot of current smokers are leaning towards vaping to help them quit smoking cigarettes altogether. Like I said before, with this topic being so new, there's little research done on this topic. But physicians are trying really hard to get that research in so we can figure out how to treat it and what the long-term effects are, so that we can tell people this is not good for you and you shouldn't be doing this instead of smoking, even though smoking is so bad for you. They really are trying so hard. They do say that they are unsure if it would increase or decrease the incidence of nicotine addiction. So with that being said, they don't know if this will help you completely quit smoking, because some people will still have that high nicotine in their vape pen and it'll just continue their addiction with nicotine. So it's not really ending the addiction that they have, it's just changing it a little bit. So the big issue is vaping and adolescents vaping. This has increased so much from 2011 to 2015. The numbers have increased so much, but the funny thing is, smoking numbers have decreased, which is great, but we are not sure if vaping has the same effects as smoking cigarettes. So we just need to get it out of their systems, tell them that it's not okay, and that it's going to harm their bodies just the same as smoking cigarettes. So in reality, we need to figure out how they're getting these devices and really hound on them to not sell them to these children. These children are not of age. They should only be of 18 or higher, just as the same as smoking cigarettes. They shouldn't be any younger than that. Now, there was a study done in 2019 where they found how these children are getting these devices, whether it be from a friend or some of them are buying them online, and they don't need the ID where you need them in like a drugstore or like 7-Eleven or anything like that. This is where the system is corrupt. They shouldn't be allowed to sell these items online like Amazon or anything like that, because these children can figure that out easily. They're better with technology. So I think a lot of parents' concerns are, what are my children doing? They might hide it from me. They aren't telling me everything. This is a big concern. So I think with doing this research on how these kids are getting it, we can, try and stop it and email these companies that are selling them online and truly nip it in the bud. Since we have all this information on smoking and all their bad effects, we have found that so many people have been trying to quit smoking, which is great. So I found this questionnaire where it was from 2011 to 2012, and they found that 74% reported that they were not smoking for at least a few weeks since using the e-cigarette, and 70% of that reported a reduced urge to smoke, which is great because trying to quit smoking is a really hard task. And with using the e-cigarette, they found that it has improved like their breathing, and they didn't cough as much. And it also was associated with low levels of cravings, which means they weren't going outside to take a cigarette anymore or even a hit on the vape. They didn't need all that time to go and feed the urge. When with smoking, you would go after each meal, after going to the bathroom, after your morning coffee, and now with this vape and them trying to quit with it, they don't have that urge to go out and do that anymore, which is a huge step for these smokers that are trying to quit. Now, these are only short-term effects that they have found. They haven't found these long-term effects yet because that will be many more years till we can. But as of right now, using the vape has done tremendous work on trying to save these smokers from continuing to smoke. And if that helps them fight the urge to smoke, then we shouldn't tell them no. They are trying to help themselves. Let's just hope that these vapes don't just keep them going with the nicotine and then they go back to cigarettes. Let's hope that they keep off of the vape, or keep off of the cigarettes, and then eventually get off of the vape and be clean of everything. But that's the end of that result. To conclude this video, I want to recap all the main aspects of vaping. Vaping is still relatively new and still needs a ton of research done on it. From what we know, we can say that it does help current smokers quit smoking and fight the urge to pick up a cigarette and fight the urge to continuously pick up the vape even to take another hit. We know that this is a newer trend, and of course it leads to adolescents wanting to pick up the trend and start to try it and find ways to buy or borrow these devices. And this leads to many parents concerned and worried that they don't know what their children are doing. And if they are doing this, then they could start having issues with their lungs or any sort of health issues. But with all these findings, we still don't know all the long-term effects. We might know some of the short-term effects, but the long-term is still in question. And we won't know for many years to come until, the first person that might have tried it passes away, and then we can see how it really is affecting the body. But until then, I guess we gotta be cautious.